This is the GV Podcast, a variety review podcast featuring two of the three idiots giving their thoughts on cartoons and anime. This is an opinion-based podcast, and there's no way we're saying our thoughts and opinions are objective. Keep this in mind and enjoy the show.
When life gives you pants,
Life lessons with Jinzu. Hello everybody, my name is Mayhem.
I'm Jinsu.
I'm Duke.
And today we are talking about the One Piece movie 2, also known as Strong World.
Yep, technically not movie 2. I think it's movie like 10 or 11, but
2009.
This is our second movie.
This is our second movie because we're not going in and watching the other movies that have the animation style that Mayhem really doesn't like.
That's poopy.
Basically, the animation style for episode Chopper, that was basically all the movies back
God.
then. So,
Oh,
yeah, no.
God.
And that's the animation style you've mentioned you do not like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force you to go through 10 of those.
I'm sorry, I have a thing for good animation and art style.
Well, it's opinion. It can be shit.
The studio that drew Summer Wars, or the animated Summer Wars, I should say.
Yeah.
They made a One Piece movie,
Really?
and it's like the scariest one.
It's
scary-
freaky as shit.
Scary as in, like, it's supposed to be scary, or
Horror.
scary as in, is
Horror.
it? Oh, it's a
Like,
horror
yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
It has one of my favorite jokes of Chopper getting thrown into the water and Luffy going off to save him, and you see him fucking drowning, basically trying to get him, and gets pulled out, and you just see Chopper, "Thank you so much for your help. No problem. You both are idiots."
Luffy is probably the best character, best kind of character who has a specific weakness, but does not give a shit about their weakness.
Yeah.
Just, I'm gonna jump in the water. I'm drowning.
Yeah, that notion is completely not retained at all.
You've seen that comic where it's Luffy and the main character from Fairy Tale?
Yes, I told you about this.
Yeah.
I was the one who told you.
No, I saw it years ago, but I'm
years ago.
yeah, 'cause-
in a valley untouched by man.
Actually, I saw it first.
The main character from Fairy Tail can't be on boats, and Luffy can't be on water. So it's an endless cycle of them saving each other from being nauseous on the boat and drowning in the water.
I'll be honest, it wasn't me asking if you've seen it. I was saying, like, you saw it, so I'm just saying that's the perfect, like...
Why the fuck would Luffy be in the water?
Because he sees that the main character from Fairy Tail is not good on the boat.
motion sickness.
so he
Yeah,
grabs
Has
him and
motion
jumps
sickness.
off, yeah,
So he's
yeah.
like, we gotta get him into the water.
that is the...
So he jumps in the water.
Yeah, that is the constant joke of just like, okay, the quickest way to get there is by carriage, and you just see him the entire time getting ready to throw up in Fairy Tail.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But
But
we're not talking about
non-
Fairy Tail.
Spoiler thoughts of Strong World. This is really good.
Shiki is a good villain.
What a 180 from the last movie we saw.
What was the last movie you guys watched?
The Chopper one.
Yeah. Episode of Chopper is literally just Drum Island. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just Drum Island, but they were like,
I know.
oh man.
know.
Oh no, making a joke to the audience.
Oh.
Of just like, it's like, oh man, it's just Drum Island. Oh, well, the villain of Drum Island kind of sucks. What do we do? Make a okayer villain?
Make a villain with a bunch of weird powers instead of the ones that really. I have this fruit that does this, then this, and this. Really?
It's mushroom power.
Oh. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, in this one, I have the float fruit, so I make a bunch of things float and gravity. I'm gonna do a bunch of shit with that.
I hear you saying it. I want to mention that right away. I love the accent. It's so stupid.
It's like a weird Jamaican accent.
It's a Caribbean accent. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave him a Caribbean accent. The dude's supposed to be Australian, but whatever.
The actor is Australian, yeah. So
Oh, the actor's Australian. I thought you said the character was Australian.
no, the actor's Australian.
Then where the
it's
fuck
one-
Is then where the fuck is the character from? Do you know?
I think East Blue as well. Which it can be just. It's One Piece. They
it's
can be
one-
from anywhere.
You
it
fucking
literally
did not
just-
understand my question. Where is
Oh,
he
sorry.
from?
Where's-
That's the
Like
thing.
like
It's,
like Robin is from Russia. Luffy's Brazilian. What race is he?
let me see.
I was gonna ask. I wonder if the One Piece fans were able to get that information out of Oda, but I'm pretty sure as soon as the character was made, that was the first thing they asked Oda. But yeah, it very much feels like an arc in One Piece sped up.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. They cramped an arc into a movie, which is usually like the pattern. It follows the usual patterns of One Piece arcs. The main characters are fuck. What's the word? They're fucking around basically.
Yeah, they're in a new place and all that kind of stuff, and they get kind of separated and have to figure out.
Actually, this movie, the opening scene takes place in a different area. It's not them fucking around. It's them being lost already.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
them after already encountering the main villain and him splitting them all up. So you watch Luffy fight off a bunch of monsters, and you watch it cuts between different groups of characters doing their own thing.
Yeah, and I feel like if this was like an actual arc, they would have actually had like everybody would have had like their own mini adventure in there and all that stuff.
Yeah, which I think it's interesting when the opening of a story takes place
A little bit ahead.
Yeah, it takes place a little ahead in the story, and then they'll cut back and be like, "This is how it happened."
This is how it happened. But when you're watching it, especially this movie, it gives us the best introduction for the main villain. Where we just see Nami just swimming in a pool. Just, all right, this is happening. And then she gets out. And then the main villain and his two henchmen just start dancing as like a introductory, like, hello, welcome to our club sort of dance sort of thing. And it is probably one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. It made me love Shiki the Golden Lion so much immediately.
That
It
is
was
the
really
greatest
funny.
introduction.
And then his clown scientist Indigo.
Is in
Doing-
English his English voice is Sean Schemmel. Goku.
And Lucario and a couple of other Pokemon and King Kai.
Basically, all the Gokus, yes.
And King Kai.
I'm trying to find right now.
I like that Sean
it's
Schemmel
not-
has that range in his voice. Like there's
That
his
he's not just Goku.
there's his badass voice, his badass main character voice that he has, and then his goofy voice. His
Okay. Unfortunately, it was not able to find. It's not listed anywhere.
Really?
Like the whole thing of like, oh, what race is Shiki? He is Shiki.
One Piece fans, you surprise me.
For once, you decided not to care.
For once, you were not autistic on this.
Well, you can assume he's just anything because it's One Piece. Where, in all fairness, like you look at like the East Blue, and it's a whole hodgepodge of whatever you kind of want. I mean, there's a South African dude. There's there's a
from the
Japanese.
same sea of the world, the East Blue, we've got a Brazilian in Luffy, a Swedish woman in Nami, a Japanese man from Zoro, even though he probably was in Wano or whatever, but a Frenchman from Sanji, and
South African for Usopp.
South African from Usopp.
Yeah.
The only
I was
the
calling
only
it
ones who are
Usopp.
naturally born there, I think, are Usopp and Luffy. I don't know. I don't think we know the origins of Nami.
Yeah, we don't know Nami.
Like where Bellamere specifically saved her from.
Yeah.
So Bellamere, we don't know. Sanji was,
I think Bellamere's from East Blue.
or sorry, Nami, we don't know. Sanji, we don't know. Usopp obviously is from there. So it's the Brazilian and the South African. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So East Blue is just the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, there you go.
The East Blue, which is in the top right corner of the map
Yeah.
of the world. One Piece.
Where the
is
hell
just-
am I?
is just-
North cities to the south, south cities to the north, east cities to the west. Where the hell am I?
And South City is to the north.
Is also to the north.
Also to the north. Where the hell am I?
That's what it's like being in One Piece. It's just like, where the hell am I? No wonder Zoro gets lost so easily. But yeah, no, dude, I'm so happy with this movie. This movie was so much fun.
It was also the same art style as like the regular show at the time.
Yeah. Like, it had amazing animation, honestly, some great animation. And just, in general, the story was not so over the top that you're like, what? Bullshit. It feels like it could fit into canon easily.
This one's definitely like the director, writer, I don't know if it was Oda. If
He
Oda
had a lot of input.
He had a lot of input. Do you think he had as much input as he did with
He's
the
one of
other
the main
ones?
writers.
He's one of the main writers, okay. This is the one where he definitely had a lot more impact because it literally, like, there are scenes in this that's like you can put side by side with the actual show and you could be totally fine with seeing. Meanwhile, a lot of the other movies look poopy bad.
Yeah. I would say if there was anything bad from this, I'm going to say that right now. If there's anything bad from this movie, I'm going to say it's just that opening part where they show off the One Piece title screen.
Oh god, yeah, it was like a old-fashioned 60s.
The following presentation kind of shit.
Yeah, it was like a weird like remix song that was weird.
I don't know what that was, I'll be honest.
It was not even anywhere. I thought we were about to get the One Piece rap.
Honestly, same.
Like imagine
I have
imagine
no
that,
idea
Jinsu. You're
what
just
that
watching
was.
Jinsu. Imagine that watching Strong World, and then all of a sudden the One Piece rap from the 4Kids dub starts playing.
You're watching.
Just like you
remember
when
the
we
opening where it suddenly started going off with the newscaster? It sounded like
the weird song that was playing.
Oh,
At
right.
the very.
Like
just imagine it starts with the fucking One Piece rap.
It was playing the One Piece rap instead. Yeah.
Well, I'm just imagining now, like the newscaster, the following presentation, like going off, and then all of a sudden, just yo, oh fuck,
Yo, yo.
yeah, yo, yeah, yo.
It makes me very sad. Every time you say it, it just like you do that, it just makes me very sad.
It is. I'll be honest. I like it. It's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny. It's 4Kids, which when it came to the theme songs of 4Kids, those are the things that I die for. I mean, dude, Pokemon. The Pokemon opening is 4Kids.
Which is like the only thing that gets a pass.
The Sonic X opening, the original Yu-Gi-Oh opening, all this different stuff. Kirby's opening. Kirby
yeah.
right back at you.
Oh my god, when are we watching that? Kirby right back at you.
I actually do plan to put it on somewhere.
Hell
I
yeah.
gotta find a good place for it though.
Hell
It's
yeah.
so good.
But yeah, so
movie.
Strong World, it has good animation, the villain's hilarious. The overall story is a very simplified, you can see it get I imagine if it got extended and turned into its own arc in the show, it would be probably set right in between Thriller Bark and Saba Odi, because Brooke is there, and it'll probably be it would probably be like a really good, like people would really like it sort of show, arc.
So there's multiple things that could make it a very good canon story. Essentially, first off, if you look at Shiki, dude, he was like from what I've seen, he was originally one of the four emperors.
Yeah, he was so we
He's
see
essentially
that
the emperor before Shanks.
we get a bunch of hints and all that kind of stuff that he had a rivalry with Gold Roger. He teamed up with Whitebeard every so often. He has an insanely powerful devil fruit that fits right next to
The Quake fruit.
yeah. Like it's almost like the exact opposite to the Quake fruit.
Yeah, breaking the air versus lifting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when it comes to the four emperors, consider at this time, I imagine the four emperors would have ended up being something like, probably like Big Mom, Whitebeard, Roger probably, and Shiki. And then I'm guessing after Roger left, it would have been Kaido.
It would have been Kaido. Yeah, Kaido.
And then-
Kaido definitely got inspired by the Great Pirate Era and blazed in with the King of Beasts and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I
wait for
don't.
you to see
Of
more
course, I
stuff.
have no idea because I've made sure to not be spoiled on
I
anything
can't
Kaido.
wait for you to see more of this show, dude. I'm so excited.
I'm 674 episodes in. What do you mean more of it?
Dude, you're 2/3 of the way in. Let's fucking go all the way. Oh, I'm so excited.
The thing is that that's the episode where I wanted to stop because that had the best joke.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you didn't
I fucked you up.
you didn't do it correctly.
Shinde. 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 Shinde.
One of my favorite jokes.
I think I showed
Oh man,
Jinsu
I gotta see if I can artificially create the silence because of how we have to export it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so confused when it goes even faster.
Help me.
Because I'm gonna be like, I did the timing correctly. What the hell?
Do you want me to not truncate silence this episode?
No. Always truncate silence. Always.
Okay. But honestly, when it comes to this movie, it is one of my. It is right now because of after watching this, I would say it's probably up there as like top 10 anime movies, because there's a lot of anime movies that it's like, oh, it's non-canon, we'll do something special, and doesn't do shit.
Or it's like we're gonna be non-canon, so that means that we're gonna do something that makes you upset.
Yeah, that also happens. Just
Why would you do this?
yeah.
But then there's Dragon Ball Super, which is now just only telling the story through movies.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Like, there may be a Super 2, but who knows?
Super too super,
It's Tooper.
too stupor, too furious.
Yeah, so, Jinzu, I gotta ask you, what did you think of this movie?
Your non-spoiler thoughts.
It was fun. The pacing felt a little slow at times, a little fast at times, but otherwise it was, I think, pretty well.
How many backstories do you think we would get if this was an actual arc in One Piece?
Shiki, the...
Indigo, the other guy, the gorilla, the fucking...
The little girl.
The little girl, the people
that
with
entire
wings.
city,
The
yeah.
entire little village with fucking feather hands.
They got feathered elbows.
Yeah.
So it looks like they got
and they
caught
can
on.
and they can
four at
fly
least.
with it. They can
But they
fly effortlessly with it.
only at the end though,
Only at the end when
because everybody was like, "Why do we have these?" I don't know.
yeah.
That's literally what they said. They're just like, "Why do we even have these wings on our arms?"
What are those feathers on your arms? Ooh. Maybe they're wings.
They're just stupider Skypeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something I really wanted to bring up. This arc followed the same story beats as Drum Island. It felt as Drum Island and
Skypia.
Skypia. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't help but
It's-
notice it. It was a little jarring.
In all fairness, this arc really is a, like, hodgepodge of elements of almost every arc of One Piece when you think about it.
Of
Like,
everything that
so
came out
many
so
things
far.
just, like, together of, like, oh, one of the Straw Hats is very important to the plot of the main villain, therefore we're going to try to take that Straw Hat away and you have to come
claim.
and save them. It's like that happens in a number of arcs.
Yeah.
It's like there's a bunch of stuff that really is just the hodgepodge. That's what it is. This
The-
movie is not Strong World, it's Strong Hodgepodge.
That's why it feels so possible.
Strong soup.
It feels so possible for this one to be put into the canon as a story. Is just because it actually follows a lot of stuff that, like, it wasn't a retelling of an arc or something like that, or some weird canon or something like that. It takes elements from a bunch of other ones and puts it together into a story that Oda would absolutely have had in it.
It also gave us some extra canon that obviously became more canon later. For example, I showed you the clip from episode 0, where it was Roger's execution.
And Shiki the Golden Lion was in Impel Down and escaped. Meanwhile, when Luffy gets to Impel Down, there's only been one person who escaped from Impel Down.
That's great. The other little bit, though, that actually became canon is who was at the execution.
Everybody.
Basically everybody. Doflamingo was there, Gecko Moria was there, Crocodile was there,
Mihawk was there.
Mihawk was there, and Dragon. The other two big ones that are, like, shown absolutely bawling their eyes out are Shanks and Buggy.
Yeah. Yeah, they were there too because Rogers was their captain.
You also get to see Mihawk was actually younger than... Or Mihawk is older than Shanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Apparently
that makes sense.
he was, I think, 17 at the time. Around
And
the same age
Shanks
as...
was like 14.
Yeah, Shanks was like 14-ish. And so we also get in that movie, or in the special episode, they actually mention other stuff, like, for example, Roger being sick and Crocus being on the ship for Roger, and the fact that apparently Roger, makes sense, he knew about the ancient weapons. He knew way more than basically anybody else.
Yeah, Gold Roger is definitely the I know everything. My death will very much hinder the development of this world. I'm gonna be a pirate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say the short version of this story is One Piece. The Straw Hat Pirates get found by Shiki the Golden Lion. Nami predicts the weather. Shiki likes that. Tries to kidnaps her, takes her to his floating sky islands, and separates all the Straw Hats. They get lost, but instantly find each other. Find his palace on the Sky Islands. Nami has to try and convince the Straw Hats that she's betrayed them, but they don't believe her. They walk into his palace in gangster outfits, light up the place, and basically Luffy has a rematch with Shiki after losing once in proper One Piece fashion, fights Shiki, and with a genetically evolved electric version of Kato. Was that the name of the dog?
Karu.
Karu. And wins and kills Shiki.
Basically, yeah. No, I especially love that moment because in episode 0, the thing that I didn't show, Shiki, he goes up to Roger and is basically like, I want you to tell me everything about the ancient weapons. And he's like, fuck you. And so it beats the shit out of him.
How about I don't?
He fully messes up Shiki. And so that's also the reason why when he hears about his execution, he goes to Marineford because he assumes that's where the execution would happen. Which makes sense. I mean, it doesn't know about Logtown.
Yeah.
So he goes to Marineford.
Is that why he wanted to destroy the East Blue? Because it's renowned for being the place that has the island that executed his rival.
No, because it's renowned for being the place where his rival was born, and so fuck that place.
Fuck that place in particular.
That's not a joke. His actual reasoning for hating the East Blue is because Roger was born there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, anime characters can be petty as hell.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. It's one of the reasons why it's a character that can be so damn petty that they're willing to do shit like that is one of my favorite kinds of characters. It's like one of my favorite examples is Reverse Flash. He's not anime, but he's the most perfect example of a petty character.
He should be called Petty Reverse Flash.
Petty Flash, yeah.
Petty Flash. It's after someone exposed themselves to you, flash themselves to you, and you pull out the Petty Flash and flash them back.
Dude, it is the best example. Dude, the best example of a character who can be petty as hell is Reverse Flash. He is the same fucking character who, when Barry was growing up, had no friends because the one friend he made, Reverse Flash went back in time to prevent his birth.
Fuck you.
He made sure he grew up friendless.
Wait, all right. It's back to Strongbow, back to One Piece.
But yeah, no, Shiki's an example of a petty character of just like, my rival was born there, I'm gonna blow up the entire ocean there.
It's going to be gone.
Yeah. So you have a very good summary of the plot. I don't have to dig too deep into it, but I will mention favorite stuff of, first off, outfits.
The outfits
I
were
love
pretty
these
good.
outfits.
Another thing to mention, the animal design.
The monster designs were awesome.
This was very Digimon type of monsters that were all in
Jinzu,
the
were you
island.
happy when Heracross popped in?
All of the
Died
monsters.
immediately in the next frame.
Died in the next frame.
After shooting out a flamethrower, but then it realized that it's weak to fire and died instantly.
Yeah, that was weird. Giant beetle spitting fire.
There was a giant six-footed
rhinoceros beetle.
Apparently, Heracross knows flamethrower.
there was a giant 6-footed purple cat with 2 tails and saber teeth.
That is one thing of like their search for Nami of like each group is one of my favorite things. Of like you got Luffy who's just running at fucking max speed trying to find Nami. And beating the shit out of animals.
We got
getting chased by animals.
We got the parents with Frankie, Robin, and then Brooke.
Yeah,
It's very much we're on our honeymoon, and we had to bring my dad, who's very senile.
He's very perverted and senile. Great tits.
Oh, they're only going
Great tits. That's all I had to say.
Great tits, an amazing rack.
Awesome rack. Awesome tits. when hearing old people just randomly outburst, awesome tits. Great tits. Okay.
I've been hanging out with my grandpa a lot lately. You hear that a lot. Like, we'll be watching a movie, and it's like, oh man, terrible actress. Great tits, though.
Great.
It's
Personality is much to be desired. Great body, though.
This movie is awful. You only come for the tits.
You stopped watching the movie after 40 minutes. Not 41! 40.
Double D.
For the D.
It's like when I went to watch the first James Bond movie, and my grandpa just going, you just want to watch it for the tits, and I just slowly turned, the what?
There's tits?
And he goes, yeah, no, there's one actress, she's naked at this point in the movie. And I go, great!
And we're not watching this now because...
Yeah, no, we watch it, and he goes, I guess they're good. Okay.
There's like this weird thing that happens with Sanji where like he's tired but doesn't fall asleep because Nami and Robin are not safe.
Oh man, I was so worried about you, I couldn't sleep. What about Robin?
Wait, Robin.
Robin.
But yeah, like like the first time that like Luffy and everybody tries fighting Shiki. Like that's a cool thing where it's like it's not just Luffy. Everybody tries fighting the Golden Lion.
That was
And
great.
He defeats them all and like buries them in like some dirt and all that kind of shit. And like there's a whole debate that the group is just like, oh, we just got our asses kicked by this guy. Better do it better next time.
Luffy, what if I hit him, but harder?
If you say that, I will punch you in the dick.
I won't feel it. I'm rubber. Let's go.
But yeah, it's like, and so like there's this part where Shiki's in his palace after defeating the Straw Hats and all that kind of stuff. But the Straw Hats, they come back out of the dirt and they go up to the palace in a very like silhouetted sort of way. You can tell that they have a new costume change. And then they just bust down the front door. Zoro cuts down one door, and Usopp, his foot crashes through the other part, and just goes, ah, shit.
Yeah, that's when we get see the other fits of the movie. Of all the Straw Hats in their suits, it looks great.
It's just the Yakuza.
They're doing
Yakuza gangster 1920s Italian mobster outfit.
And
Yeah,
they all have guns. They all have guns. And now we get to see why they
like,
don't have guns.
They have like shitty, like old timey blunderbuss pistols.
that are very in time with the One Piece guns.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way guns are in this world.
Because
yeah.
because Luffy wouldn't be safe if guns developed past the round bullets.
Yeah.
I remember
he would die
It would be
instantly.
ripped to shreds.
Hey, I'm in this brand new world. Wow, they updated their guns. Luffy?
I think he'd still be fine, like because the fucking rule of tune, but
Oh, anti-Titan artillery. Red mist.
Anti-material rifle? Luffy's made of material.
But I was gonna say, I think that is a joke. That is a thing I remember reading from Kishimoto when it came to Naruto. Of like, oh yeah, why is it the world like this? If guns existed in this world, all ninjas would be killed in an instant.
They don't have bulletproof vests. What do you think a bullet does to a human?
Which I hate to say, Mayhem, when you watch Naruto, especially Shippuden, you're gonna call bullshit when he says that. You're gonna see some of the abilities in the future, and you're just gonna be like, hey, bullshit.
Or I'm going to be like, a gun would help out a lot right now.
Oh man, I can't believe it. Look at this godlike feat. A blunderbuss could handle that motherfucker.
It's got 10 toes on each foot. 195. Oh, I gotta change my pants.
You always find a way.
I always find a way.
Always find a way to...
It is unfortunate that it was the way that I was able to do this voice. You ever see a llama? You ever see a llama?
Yeah, I think I ate one.
Have you ever killed a man?
That's such a great way to close that interview. Have you ever killed a man?
Honestly, I don't fucking know or care.
I'm about to.
I'm about to.
Have you ever killed a man? I'm about to.
You child.
So-
you strange talking child.
After you've given that the plot, I will say, dude, the plot is so in line with so much of One Piece of like you got the villains being just so goddamn stupid.
The villains are hilarious. We have Shiki the Golden Lion, where for some reason he thinks things are other things.
He's got cataracts.
Basically, we've got a gorilla in grandma attire, so he keeps thinking that it's his grandma. I thought you were my grandma for a second. And then a clown, voiced by Sean Schemmel. Just a clown who's
Voiced by
terrifying.
Sean Schemmel, yeah.
Who's
Who fights Zoro?
who has a very
voiced by
questionable
Vegeta.
laugh. A very questionable One Piece laugh.
Yeah, I think it is like PETO, but you know what that sounds when it's said out loud.
You know what it sounds like when you say it out loud and fast instead of pito.
Yeah. No, imagine Sean Schemmel going like, this is going to be awful. I need to say it as distinctly as possible. It's so just every time it pops up, just like he's got his normal voice and then pito.
Okay, that was less than great, but we're gonna need you to actually like make it sound like a laugh.
God damn it.
Fuck.
I gotta find what his laugh is supposed to be.
I always love whenever you ever Jinzu, you ever hear you remember those ASMR videos where it's Goku outside of your house and it's like you hear knocking? Hey, it's me, Goku.
Why is it Piro? Piro.
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
That was not what it sounded like. I
It
heard
sounded
a
like
distinct...
Pito or Pido.
I heard Piro.
Wow, you have better linguistics than this.
Wow, it's almost like I know 3 more languages than you two.
Did you know
Did you know?
that when you only know one language, you'd know jack shit?
Did you know Jinsu was not the first language invented?
Jinzu was. It was the second.
It was the second. And the third.
No, it got erased after the third.
Me trying to explain, me trying to build a tower to fight
I was gonna
God.
make a Tower of Babel joke too. Yeah, I was like, me trying to report my boss that the tower's finished, but he's speaking a language completely unknown to me. Oh my god.
I have to admit, there's a lot of Bible stories you end up seeing where it's like nowadays there'd be so many fucking jokes.
It's almost like the Bible is always relevant, and that's why it's never gone away.
Well, that's the thing. I'm saying you can make so many jokes.
Exactly, relevant. Doesn't matter how it's relevant, as long as it is relevant.
Me when tower.
Me when my girl don't know where to go decide eat, so she'd eat apple off forbidden tree. Fuck!
So Shiki. No, it's these villains are so much fun, and it's the best possible introduction. We mentioned that the best possible introduction.
Stupid dance.
Of them not speaking for a solid minute.
Just dancing. And it's like the music is very wonky too.
The music is entirely wonky in this movie, and I love it. That's just general. Once again, this movie has the most One Piece feel a movie can get.
Yeah.
And
hopefully this is a sign that any One Piece movies after this feel like this one.
yeah, I've seen some of the animation for some of the future movies. They're great.
Okay.
And this also gives you a chance to kind of see something that you'll see a lot more in the next movies. It's very important that you kind of don't watch movies until certain points in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't watch this until just now. I'm in Dressrosa. Meanwhile, this movie takes place in after
Just before Marineford.
Yeah, just after Thriller Bark. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's literally essentially as they're sailing to Sabaody, this arc is going. This arc would go on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the kind of the case for a lot of the movies. Of the only one that currently from memory is a little more mixed is Film Red, because there's stuff in it that shows up where it's like, this could be after or just before Wano.
I'm actually very scared to watch that movie. The fact that when you were telling me about it, that fact that Oda had to be like, hey, here's stuff that here's the end of One Piece. Make sure that you don't...
He told them that 20 years ago.
Yeah, and they had to make this movie without making too much things clear in it, and that just kind of
You'd be surprised.
makes
dude.
me worried.
Well, not just that, dude. That's the thing. Some of these movies actually do kind of show off stuff that people don't know about, even in the manga. That's what kind of gets crazy. Best example I can think of is Film Red actually has a moment where it mentions a passing scene or something like that, where you go, oh, that seems important. And getting into, mind you, the movie's been out for over a year now, past month or so, going, oh yeah, no, that was important. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that was probably the most important thing to be revealed out of that movie right now.
Genuinely, genuinely, One Piece Film Red could be one of the most important One Piece movies for that scene alone.
Interesting.
That alone.
All right. Back to Strong World. Who's your favorite character?
I think it is Shiki.
What about you, Jinsu?
Jamaican accent Shiki is great.
What about you, Jinsu? Favorite character in the movie?
Indigo.
Dr. Indigo's your favorite?
Dr. Indigo.
Is it?
We
forgot to mention that.
Random charades. What are you trying to tell me?
Oh, sorry, sir. I was telling you that over here.
You can talk. You can talk. Like the villains' relationship with each other is my favorite thing.
Yes.
Of just fucking Cataract Shiki and then
Gorilla.
Gorilla and then Fartfoot Indigo.
Fartfoot the clown.
Yeah, Fartfoot the clown. Sounds like a clown name, fun enough.
The gorilla just being just a full-on gorilla, and then
He
going
just
into...
kind of exists.
He just exists, it fights the Straw Hats, and then kidnaps Robin, and then pulls a King Kong. And Sanji has to go up there and instantly kill him.
Do you know how big a gorilla penis is?
Ah!
He's 2 inches. Not as scary, but still.
But still, it's fucked up.
And then just earlier making the joke of the corkscrew dick.
With the duck.
With the duck.
The duck was also pretty good. It was another chance for Oda to write a
Karu.
Yeah.
He just wanted Karu back.
He's one.
No, imagine him writing for like getting ready for time skip. He's just, man, I miss Karu. Can I make
Strong World.
Can I make a movie about Karu? I'm gonna make a movie about Karu.
And now we have Strong World.
It's like we can't use Karu. Okay, fine. Then it's Karu-like. It's Karu adjacent.
Same voice actor probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
final
this movie,
thoughts of this movie because it's honestly great.
Yeah, this movie, it makes me hopeful for watching more One Piece movies, and the fact that this came out in 2009 and has the animation quality is still really good, even though I'm in Dressrosa, which came out in
2013-ish, 2014.
like that small amount of time, and it still holds up really well. It makes me very happy, and also upset that this is probably around the same time that Dragon Ball Super's budget was decreasing by the
Dragon Ball
mile.
Super doesn't come out till 2016.
But the like stockpile budget is going down and down to get One Piece up.
Toei, well, you can kind of see that when it comes to Toei, you can kind of tell it's kind of where it's going at this point. It looks like One Piece getting as popular as it is increases the budget for it, while Dragon Ball has always kind of been popular.
That's like the
means
best
it's
part.
toning down the budget.
Yeah, that's the best part about it being CG now, is that thankfully Goku is always at the same quality and not all of a sudden looking worse than
If
some
they make
clips of 1990s One Piece.
if they make another Super series, it's gonna go back to 2D. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It just they got to be careful, because if Dragon Ball starts having even worse animation, it's just like One Piece alone with its animation. One Piece's animation alone, that's what I wanted to say, has been really, really good. And the fact that I keep hearing how much better it gets.
It's insane. Once again, that's the thing. When it comes to One Piece, I mentioned it before, of One Piece in my mind is essentially the golden standard of animation.
Yeah.
At all times, it is either the norm or above that.
And then there's Studio Madhouse, which single thing that they release looks amazing.
Yeah, no, there are studios obviously out there that they do insane shit. Their animation can go insane. I mean, look at Mappa. Mappa is either the greatest or
Yeah,
there
either
is
90%,
no in between.
They're either a 9 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, we saw that of it's either the greatest thing you've ever seen or you feel like your dog could make it.
What about you, Jinsu? Is there a animation studio that speaks out to you right now with
No.
animation quality? Animation quality being really good or animation quality being bad?
I guess Mappa.
Being how they're either really good or really bad.
Yeah, and how they're kind of in charge of everything for whatever reason.
Yeah, the executive in charge of Mappa is just like, I want to make Attack on Titan, I want to make Chainsaw Man, I want to make Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's also kind of weird considering they're not in charge of the biggest deal anime sometimes. It's just they'll just grab whatever. Of like they got Attack on Titan, they got Chainsaw Man, they got
Jujutsu
I wonder how
Kaisen.
the
Jujutsu
business
Kaisen.
of that works. Like, how do they like organize that shit?
Is that like an
together?
auction that they bid on or something like that?
Or is it? Cause no, it has to be like a contract deal kind of thing. It's like,
yeah.
it's like okay, the publisher of this
That's what it is.
that's what it is. The publisher and
Wit
the,
Studio mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
The president of Wit Studio actually mentioned the reason why they did not do the final season of Attack on Titan as well as season 2 of Vinland Saga. The reason why is because he signed the contracts and did not read them thoroughly. Like
So-
he signed off for that amount of seasons.
Read your
Yeah.
contracts, kids,
Read
Buy
your
a lawyer.
contracts, especially if you're the president of a company.
or buy a lawyer, especially if you're the president of a company.
And also make sure you don't accidentally make the same opening for your showcase for your logo for your animation studio at the same time.
Another studio, by the way, that is fantastic. That we forget to mention. Wit
Motorcycles.
Studio. Wit Studio. They did Spy Family.
Wit Studio, I think, does more consistently in 8 or 9. I think,
Yeah.
I think they're more consistent.
What studio definitely nailed Attack on Titan?
Season 1 through 3, as well as season 1 of Vinland Saga,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
they're really good. But
Man, they made Attack on Titan look so fucking good.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
When it came to what was it?
you look in turmoil.
Yeah.
That's the face I would give that. Like the title to that phase, turmoil.
But like another example, by the way, that came to mind of like Mappa, where it's like you go, it was they did Yuri on Ice.
You always
Like, that is their big deal.
You always find a way to bring this
Back in
one
the
up.
day. I just thought it was funny because like holy shit. Mind you, nowadays they are known for some of these big ones like Attack on Titan and Chainsaw Man and shit like that. And it's like holy shit. Back in the day they were known for Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
And you look at it, it's like, oh, where's the correlation here? Giant cannibals? Devils with chainsaws? Gays on ice?
Correlation.
Very cold gay men?
I've got a question for today.
Yes, you do.
Out of with Shiki the Golden Lion, and including the 4 emperors we have now and the warlords, is there anybody that, when in a fight with Shiki, do you think would severely win or severely lose against Shiki?
Among the emperors?
Emperors and warlords.
What about the Marine Admirals?
Marine admirals, yeah, add those in too. Just basically someone you think that would overpower Shiki and someone who would get absolutely destroyed by Shiki.
Whitebeard and Gold Roger are top of the list of they destroy him.
Yeah,
I think Whitebeard being like get the fuck out of here is
the sign.
his like placement. You
Yeah.
know, is his like where his threshold. That's where he is.
Kaido, I think, would get dogged.
You think Kaido would lose to Shiki
I think Kaido would.
Well, back in the day, at least.
before the dragon fruit?
Oh, 100% before the Dragon Fruit, but
Oh, Kaido
like-
ate the dragon fruit recently.
I think it was around the time that Roger was executed, like maybe a bit before that he ate the dragon fruit.
Oh, okay.
That's around timeline, yeah. Like, yeah, he got it fairly early. I think he was like a teenager when he got it.
Imagine at a teenager's age, you suddenly get the powers of a dragon.
Yeah.
Sounds like, man, we watch
Well,
Firebreak.
actually, technically,
Firebringer.
that's it.
What?
What you just said, Jinzu.
Fish.
Fish.
He gets the power of a fish.
And then he jumped
little-
up a waterfall.
He's
He-
a little guppy now.
He's a Magikarp.
He had to awaken it. It was the fish fruit model Azure Dragon.
Ah, okay. Also,
There is
spoilers,
the-
bitch!
there is the Japanese mythology of the koi fish leaping the waterfall and then coming out as a dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, we never see him actually as a fish, by the way. Like,
Fish.
that's not a thing. It's just that's the name of his fruit.
Really?
And so people like the image that in the past it's like, okay, you need to awaken your fruit. I will awaken my fruit. And him jumping up a waterfall and then suddenly turning into an Azure dragon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so people just like that image. Also, the image of
Fish.
Kaido as a fish is just funny.
Yeah.
Fish.
Fish, fish, fish.
This fish!
Okay, so now out of the warlords.
Hold
Wait,
on.
wait,
I was
which-
I was looking up the giraffes like family, their like genus or whatever.
Yes.
And the only animal that's related to the giraffe is the okapi.
Yes.
So the giraffe fruit being the ox fruit model giraffe
Is wrong.
is kind of weird. Kind of doesn't make sense.
I was like, why is he mentioning? Oh, okay, it's related.
It is heavily related, yeah. So that's-
Why not just call it the giraffe fruit or something? I don't know.
Right?
The Akabi
Right?
Akabi fruit.
I very much hate most of the names of the devil fruits.
The scientific name for a giraffe is very confusing. It's just giraffe and then some French letters in the middle and then giraffe again.
That means that the French discovered the giraffe.
Actually, I hate to
No.
say that the actual reason why there is just called the ox fruit model giraffe is because they wanted a very small, quick word they could use.
Oh, yeah.
That's
But-
the actual reason. In all fairness, like, are you going to say, I have the giraffe fruit? No, you're going to say, I have the ox fruit, model giraffe.
Model giraffe. All right, now out of the warlords, any and all warlords.
Big Mom, I think, would it'd be a tough fight.
Big Mom's not a warlord.
Oh, Warlord, sorry.
Warlord.
I thought
not
you mentioned
emperors.
emperors.
We're
Okay.
talking about we already
Oh,
gave our answers on
Warlords. Mihawk might have trouble. Like, it's dependent. Like,
Okay.
it truly, the benchmark at that point is how strong he is compared to other emperors,
You know-
such as Shanks.
You know who would beat him instantly? Boa Hancock.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, no, that is fair. Of like, yeah,
I was wrong. The scientific name of a giraffe is the Giraffa camelopard.
Let me see. Let me fuck it up.
Oh, another word would be.
Camelopardalis.
Oh, so another word probably for it would be like the camel fruit.
Camelopardus type mammal diet herbivore. I eat nothing but herbivores.
So once again, you got to put into mind when it comes to the names of fruits, it's Oda.
It's Oda.
Like Oda is going to name it whatever the hell he wants. Like, did he need to name Kaido's fruit the fish fruit? No.
He chose to.
He chose to make it a koi fish jumping over a fucking waterfall.
Oh.
But no, it's like other ones.
Are you gonna answer it?
I don't know. This guy. Hello?
Jinsu's answering the phone call.
Who is this?
What was that? I heard something about property.
Yeah, that's all I heard too.
I stopped caring after this.
But no, there's a lot of very dumb fruits in this show, and it's like, oh, why was it named this? Why does it do this?
Why the fuck was it named
It's
this?
One Piece. It is Oda. If you ever question why is weird thing happening, it's because it's Oda.
It was made by a Japanese
Autistic
man who wanted to tell a funny story.
and draw boobs. It's kind of about it for him.
That's it. That's One
Like,
Piece.
I love Oda. Mind you, he's one of my favorite creators.
He's one of the best.
He's one of the best. But I'm not going to say, like, well, he has a very, very distinct reason
He had
for
a
this
goal
and
in life to create
like-
the greatest story ever told.
He wanted to make a story he could have fun with.
Yeah.
And also, he really likes boobs.
Hell yeah.
Respect for the man. But no, when it comes to the warlords, I'd say probably at the top of the warlords would probably end up being Mihawk.
Mihawk, yeah. And
Based on the
Doflamingo.
fact that he's the strongest, the strongest swordsman. Doflamingo, I think Doflamingo I would actually have trouble
Really?
because of the float fruit. Like, he has to wrap around something, and so imagine trying to wrap around and suddenly your strings are starting to float.
What's like how would Spider-Man fare against a gravity villain?
Well, he wasn't any help in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
No, oh, okay. Whatever that was.
Making a joke. He
Yeah,
wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Okay.
He was in the show, but he like New York gets attacked by Gravitron, I think his name was, gravity-based supervillain.
That's a
And
Transformer.
that's how the Avengers are formed to fight him. And Spider-Man obviously isn't there because probably
This is-
rights.
He couldn't be standing next to Captain America for too long.
He was in one episode with Wolverine and the Thing. That was cool. But anyway, yeah. So
What's next, Duke?
what's next? Let me check the movies.
I wonder how this is gonna sound.
Like that.
A small, sharp incline of audio.
So when it comes to One Piece, next video for One Piece is actually going to be Dressrosa
Okay.
Part 1.
Part 1. Yeah, because we had to split that up.
Then obviously you get Dressrosa Part 2. The next point when we actually get a movie is Film Z.
Film Z.
One Piece Film Z.
So it's the last one?
No, currently the last movie is Red.
Is red. Yes.
It was left on red.
Why? Fuck you.
You were going for a pun. I could see, so I was like, I will take this opportunity.
And in that, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked it, subscribe for more, and we'll catch you all next time. Anything to add, Jinsu, after you threw down your mic as far away as possible?
I tried to make my chest crack. It didn't work.
You just try to make your chest crack and
Jinsu? Jinsu?
loud crack, you're dead.
Bye. If you want to see more of our content, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on our Linktree at linktree/greenvillains. That's linktr.ee/greenvillains.